Hi, I'm Dr. Steve Feldman, candidate for the U.S. House in North Carolina's 10th Congressional District. Looking at the escalating conflicts in the world today, it's easy to be pessimistic. However, I'm extremely optimistic that we can find peace in our lifetimes. This may be hard to believe, but I think that, generally speaking, conflicts are caused by good people on both sides who misjudge the other side. I certainly see otherwise peaceful people on our side who think that we need to be violent to fight evil. They want to cut off the head of the snake. I'm pretty sure the folks that we think are evil are also good people who think that they need to be violent to get us to stop being violent and to get us to stop supporting violence. For example, before we were attacked on 9/11, the U.S. imposed sanctions on Iraq that, according to the medical journal The Lancet, killed 500,000 children. 500,000 children. When asked about this on 60 Minutes, President Clinton's Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright, said, "We think the price is worth it." On 9/11, we weren't attacked because they hate our freedom. I'm Jewish, but I think Jesus was onto something when he said, "Turn the other cheek." I'm quite sure that peace doesn't come by killing and maiming other people's children, even if we call it collateral damage. When we're attacked, we get angry and seek revenge. We try to end violence through more violence. When we attack others, they respond the same way. I'm quite sure that the real path to peace is for us to be more peaceful. We should seek to understand the motivations of those who we think are enemies instead of suggesting that we can't talk to terrorists. Just as we see them as evil terrorists, they probably look at the far greater violence we commit and support and think that we're the terrorists. When I was in Hebrew school, I was taught that Palestinians were basically evil terrorists bent on killing Jews. Well, on one of my trips to visit family in Israel, I remember taking tours of the whole country, and we came over a hill, and it was amazing. I saw this valley with farms and factories, trees on the hillside, trees that I probably helped to plant when I collected dimes as a child. We made this land of empty swamps and deserts bloom, or so I was told. And it occurred to me, if this had been a land of empty deserts and swamps, how did 700,000 Palestinian men, women, and children become refugees? And I started to investigate, and I found things that they didn't teach me in Hebrew school, that the Jewish forces expelled entire villages of Palestinian families from their homes, blew up the buildings in the villages, and mined the debris. Something inconsistent with what I was taught in Hebrew school, that we had begged Palestinian families to stay. They fled to make it easier to kill Jews. Something that was also basically incompatible with the Jewish morality that I was taught. After learning that Israel was created by expelling entire villages of peaceful non-Jewish families from their homes, the massive violence we support against Palestinian families no longer seems to have a moral high ground to me. How can we stop this madness? Is there a way to fix things? All right, you may think I'm naive, but I'm quite sure that the peace we all want for the Holy Land can come by apologizing, rebuilding the Palestinian villages that were destroyed, inviting refugee families to return to their homes, and living together in peace. This is not naive. In my lifetime, we've seen miracles like the fall of the Berlin Wall, the ending of apartheid in South Africa, and a peaceful end to institutionalized racial segregation right here in North Carolina, just like a generation or two ago. I'm sure that all we want is peace and security for our children. I'm sure that all they want is peace and security for their children too. I'm optimistic because it's not evil that we have to fight. All we may need is for good people to get past their misconceptions.
Paid for by Feldman for Congress.